episode 145. We're back, boys. Retro Gaming. Here we are. It's been a month because I was violently ill with the bad thing that's going around.
Which is?
It's like a really bad cold that puts people out. Kind of the flu, I guess. Yeah. It was a stomach virus for many, and then the cold hit afterwards. So a double dose of sickness going around, especially where I work. It's been rough goings. But we're back. We're here to talk. We're skipping my episode for now, and that's okay. Because, Colin, we got yours.
Yes.
What is it?
High Octane Scaries.
I like
games
it.
Games that can scare you even when you're armed to the teeth.
Hey.
It's Halloween month. We gotta have some kind of scary game topic.
Yeah, we're getting closer, and Joey's got an amazing topic closer to Halloween that he totally chose on his own with no help.
Completely.
Absolutely. How you guys been?
Been all right.
Yeah, not too bad. It's been kind of a tough work week. Just really nose to the grindstone.
Same. I had to go to New Hampshire for work earlier this week. Shot, takes some skill to be able to shoot a military-grade assault weapon that the guy has to brace you in order to shoot it. Yeah, I had to do that. The new 6-hour weapons.
Wow.
Very frightening from a guy who doesn't enjoy these things, but they're like, oh man, they're so excited, and this thing's like as tall as me. I took pictures and threw it in the Discord. I'll send it to you guys because this thing was just a monstrosity of how tall this thing was. I shot like 4 of their weapons, but let's see here where it be. Here it is. There we go. So I put that in Discord. I mean, I'm 5'7".
Oh, man.
This thing had to be at least 5 feet tall or long. Absolutely insane.
That's a big chonker of a gun.
Yeah, I shot it 3 times, and I was like, oh my god, my shoulders hurt from the weight and the kickback. It was insane. They're just like, oh man, isn't it great? I'm like, yeah, sure. Ow. So that's what I did. That was a long day. That was like a fucking 15-hour workday involving traffic and travel. Nobody wants to hear any of that. They want to hear about video games. What have you guys been playing?
Well, I got further into The Messenger on Switch.
Sweet. Tough game. Tough as hell.
Not that tough.
That's right. You're good at video games, unlike me.
At least I've played tougher anyway. It's kind of funny. After getting to a certain point and beating a certain boss, the game goes from NES graphics and audio to Genesis graphics and audio.
Oh, that's kind of
cool. After a time warp, so that was an interesting way of doing things. So I'm looking forward to see where that goes. I mean, the Genesis audio is very authentic. I mean, if I didn't know that there was a modern game, I would have thought it came straight out of the 90s.
Cool. That's well designed then. Good success.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yep. And I'm still playing Spider-Man on PS4. I finished the main campaign, and I'm partway through one of 3 of the City That Never Sleeps DLC.
Isn't the second one coming out in a couple months?
I think so, yeah.
Sooner than that, I think.
Because Assassin's Creed Mirage came out, and it got less than desirable reviews, from what I can read. Yeah. There was a lot of heavy anticipation for Mirage this year and what Ubisoft is going to do, but I'm going to have to look more into it because I'm a big fan of the Assassin's Creed series, and this doesn't seem to be getting
Yeah, it seems
the high praise.
lackluster. But Spider-Man 2 comes out in 12 days.
Oh shit, that is definitely less than 2 months.
Yeah.
You getting it, Joey?
Yeah.
All right. Day one? You're a day one guy?
Probably. I'll probably get it day one. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm not pre-ordering it, but
Oh, you're not going to pre-order it?
no.
Excuse me. Oh, why not?
I don't know. Just don't think I want to pre-order games.
Are you
Huh.
going to get it on the PS5?
PS5.
PS5 exclusive. That's right. Timed exclusive? I don't remember.
It will be exclusive, and it probably will be on PC in 4 years.
Okay. That's fine.
Because that's usually how they'd handle it.
Yeah.
I'll probably wait for the Game of the Year edition.
True. Just comes with the DLC. I know Horizon Forbidden West just had that, or is coming out soon.
That's
Okay.
good. I've been doing the same with that.
Yeah.
I also played a tiny bit of Armored Core 6.
Sweet.
Haven't been paying as much attention to it as I probably should, but I did a few of the tutorials that teach on how the lighter builds with the higher agility work and how the one tank treads build operates. So that'll give me a little bit of help in determining what kind of stuff to kit my mech out with for certain missions. Whether I need a light and fast build or a heavy armored build.
Well, I can tell you this, because I got a little further in it before a couple other games took over my interest. But the whole purpose of Armored Core 6 is to come up with a build that can absolutely exploit whatever boss you're coming to.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's meant, the game's meant for you to build whatever you need in order to break the game, essentially.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fun. It's the opposite of how Dark Souls and stuff operates.
Yeah.
From Soft, yeah.
Yeah, and I finally realized what the stun meter reminded me of. It was straight out of Sekiro.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah.
I wish I was good enough
Just
to beat
with
that game. Because I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. And I watched the newest Nintendo Direct, but I should probably save that for after you guys give your games.
Nah, talk about it now.
Okay.
Go for it.
Well, just recently on... Actually, not that recently anymore. It
It's like
was
a month
on
ago.
September 14th. But yeah, they came out with a new Nintendo Direct with a bunch of stuff that wasn't mentioned in the previous one. They've got Mario vs. Donkey Kong, which is sort of like a Mario and Wario type deal, but more updated.
Yeah, they had a Mario Donkey Kong kind of deal on I think it was the DS. I think some games came out with that. It was like a puzzle game.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I imagine they're playing off that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's Princess Peach Showtime, which is sort of a little adventure game type deal where she goes to like this stage production, but then some evil magical entity takes over the whole thing, and now Peach has to use her wits and various transformations to take them out. Like, at some point she'll turn into a detective, and in another she'll turn into an acrobat. So that should be good, quirky fun.
I suppose.
Mhm.
I'm skeptical.
And there's
Very
another one. Another one called Super Crazy Rhythm Castle, which is pretty much what it sounds like. It's a rhythm game combined with a turn-based RPG. So that should be an interesting time. And then they announced Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remastered.
I saw that. That's coming out on like everything, I believe.
Yeah. That should be fun.
Yeah, they've been remastered a bunch of times. Oh, no. Yes? No, the first one has for sure. Although, who could possibly want a remake of the first one when you have the great Sega Saturn version that everyone definitely has?
I know, right?
Yeah. It's fantastic. Joey, you have like fond memories of Tomb Raider on the Saturn?
No.
You do. Liar. Lies. Love Tomb Raider. Love that series.
And then they've got Contra Operation Galuga, which is basically a 2.5D reimagining of the first Contra game.
Yeah, a lot of weird remakes.
Yeah.
Although there is one remake re-release that's coming out that finally I did see that.
Which is
Paper Mario.
Oh yeah, Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door. That's
damn
getting
right.
A remaster.
Because that game is like $150 to get on the GameCube. Fuck that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that should be fun.
Yeah, I am 100% getting that because I don't have it. We played it for the podcast. Phenomenal game. I'm looking forward to this actually being re-released.
Nice.
And I'm even going to get Super Mario RPG because, well, that one's also fuck expensive, and I have the Japanese version.
Nice.
So, yeah, my Nintendo Switch will be a Paper Mario device, it seems.
Cool. I also saw something called Unicorn Overlord, which is like this Fire Emblem, but turn-based RPG action. I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's made by Vanillaware.
Yeah, they stole the name of my second cat I'm getting. I'm very upset with this.
Yeah. Then there's F-Zero 99, which is like takes the Super Nintendo style of F-Zero and then makes it into an online like brawling type deal, if that makes any sense. You're just supposed to try and knock all the other players off the course or make them explode. And they've also announced Wargroove 2.
Yeah, I saw Wargroove 2 was coming out. I really liked the first one. I'm not sure I liked it good enough to get a sequel. Especially when I have all these Fire Emblem games to play, which are very superior. But yeah, I very much liked Wargroove, and I have such a heavy backlog, I don't think I'll ever get to that game.
And then there's Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown. It's like a 2.5D Prince of Persia, sort of a throwback to the original series. And it looks interesting.
that looks super interesting. I did see that as well. I guess I saw more of this Nintendo Direct on Twitter than actually watching it. But yeah, the Prince of Persia one piqued my interest. It's a throwback puzzle adventure game rather than what they've done with the series in the PS2 area post.
And what else was there? Let me see. I think I've pretty much mentioned all the ones that stand out to me.
Yeah, I mean, Paper Mario 1,000-Year Door stuck out to me the most, and the new Mario game coming out.
Yeah.
So,
that
Joey,
should be fun.
Yes.
How you doing?
Doing all right.
What you been playing?
Doing? Ooh, what have I been playing?
Did you beat Inscription?
I did beat Inscription.
Like the whole thing?
Not 100%, but yeah, I beat it. So I got that like mod gameplay type thing. But I missed some stuff in the second stage, so there was some stuff in the third stage I couldn't do.
Bizarre change in the game, isn't there?
Yeah.
So, Colin, for in case you don't know, it looks like a modern game, right? And then at the, I don't know, a third point, which I thought was the half point, it becomes this retro NES SNES card game. Completely changes a lot of the rules and operations and how you play. It's almost like an RPG adventure with cards.
That's funny.
And then it changes again, where you're in like, I don't know, how would you describe this, Joey? Not a computer mainframe, but some...
Yeah, you're inside a computer, and you deal with robots.
Yeah. And the operations change yet again. But
That's funny.
all while this is going on, there's some plot developing with a like YouTuber who collects cards, and the government's like after him or some shit. It's like some conspiracy of death.
The gaming company, or a gaming company, was after him.
Yeah. So I beat it as well, Joey.
Did you cheese it with the
the Ouroboros?
Ouroboros, yeah.
Yeah, of course I did.
That card, every time you use it, you place it down, it grows stronger. Or every time it dies, it grows stronger.
Yeah, so you can sacrifice it, and it gains health and attack. So
and it goes back to your hand.
Right. Well, you could get it to do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the major thing is keeping your deck small enough where you can pull that as much as possible, and then the game absolutely breaks when you do that. And I was like, this is how you beat it. I got it.
Yeah, I saw someone get up to like 127 and 127.
That's funny.
Yeah, in the retro version, you can also use like magic builds or something where you can cheese defense, where you can just get these oh my god. My throat's all scratchy. I'm dying. You can get defense where you can just collect bones every turn until the game doesn't let you, and then you can hit for like 90 and get extra points. Takes a little bit, but you can the game's made to be exploiting this card game. Like, it's not totally made right. But yeah, I beat that too. Amazing what you accomplish when you're sick, when you just have all this time to sit on the couch. What else, Joey?
Payday 3. Played that with its shitty launch.
Okay. What happened with this fucking thing?
Don't know. Their servers died. I have no idea, and I don't know why it took so long for them to fix it. And everyone was pissed off because they're like, it's always online. And they're like, what happens if things go down? They're like, oh, they won't go down. And then they went down day one. So the servers were fine for all the pre-sale folks. We got the 3 days early. So they got 3 days without really any issues. And then once everyone else came on, it just took them like a week to get the servers to be good.
Because there's quite a few people in the Red Leaf Discord playing Payday 3, but they're just like everybody was making fun of the launch.
Yeah, it was so terrible. So I think now they might be looking at potentially doing an offline mode.
Yeah, you don't say.
They probably going to make some changes to the experience, because right now it's only through achievements. And sometimes you go through a mission, you don't get any experience because you didn't like kill enough guards or do that. So I think they might be changing that up. But I think it's a lot of fun. I like that you can do a lot without your mask on. So there's a whole like different level of stealth to it. So that's fun. So I'm enjoying it after the servers decided to start working. So
I really enjoyed the discourse online about crazy, passionate Payday 3 fans being very upset with the poor reviews it was getting. And I'm like, what do you expect? The game came out essentially broken. Or you couldn't play it. Of course it's going to get bad reviews.
I haven't updated my review yet. I was waiting for first couple patches to see.
I saw someone gave it a 5 out of 10, or some equivalent of that, where they go, it gets a 0 for the launch, and then now that the game works, it gets a 9 out of 10. So that was entertaining. I just liked people being super offended by poor game reviews. I'm like, well, the game doesn't work, guys. Come on.
Yeah.
I, like I said, beat Inscription. That was game 1. And then I was switching between Tears of the Kingdom. I've gotten much, much further in that now. I'm probably 30-something hours in, finally. I have beaten 3 dungeons, wind, water, and fire. So I have 1 left, the Gerudo Village. So I'll be there. And I think I've come to the conclusion with Tears of the Kingdom that I like Breath of the Wild more.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, I get Tears of the Kingdom and the whole building mechanic, and there's a lot of... The way the game is designed, especially with its levels, it kind of forces you into a lot of these building mechanics, which I understand completely. It's crucial to this iteration of the game. It's just... when I'm in like something like the Fire Temple and I'm getting kind of annoyed with the circumstances of the puzzles to go from sector to sector and how to get there, or in other cases in general of travel, where I'm trying to now just build things to exploit the levels. So with the fire temple, for example, I just put 2 fans together and slapped a controller on there, and now I have a hovercraft that broke everything. I'm like, oh, now there's no puzzle. I just go to this thing. So once I got fed up with this, how this minecart operation worked, I'm like, I wonder if this will actually work, and it does. So there's a lot of... So as soon as I kind of got in my head that a lot of these contraptions that I could, just come up with in my head through Armored Core 6 builds, the game became immensely easier and very exploitative. And I'm like, do I want to play this way? But then the game kind of makes you in a lot of cases. While in Breath of the Wild, I think I liked its simplicity a lot more. Like,
Gotcha.
Yeah. Travel's still the exact same. With, I also think a lot of the areas are much more spread out compared to Breath of the Wild, including temples and the whatnot. I did really get a kick out of the Water Temple's boss. Have you guys seen videos of this thing?
No.
So it's like this tiny squid thing that emits this mud, and it's... because a lot of Zelda bosses are these like giant, like dragon-like creatures almost, and then I come across this guy, and it's pure comedy, and it's a way different sort of fight. You have to use, obviously, the key to a lot of these temple bosses is utilizing your friend and his ability to help you beat him. So I like that. Yeah, I it's definitely not my game of the year, but it's well, obviously it's well made and it's very good. I just prefer Breath of the Wild in its simplicity. And it was new at the time, you know what I mean? It was, the whole concept was different. And then I am almost done with Liza P.
Okay.
Are you familiar with Liza P? Have you heard of this? Or just me talking about it?
Just you talking about it.
Yeah.
So, it's Dark Souls, but Pinocchio.
Uh-huh.
And it rules. It absolutely rules. It's a combination of Bloodborne and Sekiro to a small extent. Mostly on the Bloodborne side. There's even Bloodborne-esque Easter eggs you can get, and it's pound for pound like the best non-From Software Souls game I've ever played. It's made so well. The weapon mechanics are super fun with trying out different weapons and builds. What you can do is you come across a weapon and it has a handle associated with it. You can, besides getting kind of boss fight weapons, the common ones, you can disassemble the handle and then mix and match that with any other type of blade or sword or what have you in the game, and you can adjust stats through these things called cranks, and that'll give you a stronger build, a technique build, or like an elemental build to it. So the amount of I guess, customization to how you want to play is very enjoyable. So the handle will give you a different type of swing for a weapon. So if you have this giant bone cutting blade, then if you put like a police baton at the end, you can swing it like a baton, and it's quite funny. Pinocchio has this mechanical arm to him because he's a puppet, and the mechanical arm has its own abilities that you can muster up. So for the majority of the game, I was using this shield type thing, and it can explode if you activate it at the right time during a fight. And then eventually you can parry with it, and then if you upgrade it fully, you can charge it up, and it leaves an explosion. But now I've switched to this. It's like a pulley system arm, and the first ability is the whole like scorpion get over here thing to smaller enemies, which is really nice when you don't want to be ambushed. And then the second one is if you hold it down, you will go to them, so you can get the jump on them. Then if you fully upgrade it, it becomes like something out of Sekiro, where you leap to them, go like 10 feet in the air, and then you come down slashing hard. It's pretty sick. Love using that in boss fights. And let me tell you, these boss fights are incredible. I like how it's more than just what you do in Dark Souls games, where you kind of just circle around the butt and poke them. This is more about kind of a Sekiro-like parry system, block system. So you can lead to weapon breakage of the enemy, or help you with what's called guard regain, where if you perfect block or what have you, you can get the opportunity to get your health back that was blocked after you hit the enemy again. So that's lots of cool mechanics put into this, and a lot of different systems that improve quality of life compared to many Dark Souls-like games, and Dark Souls in particular. Like, for example, Colin, since you're very much seasoned with these games as well, the souls, or in this case, ergo, when you have enough to level up your character in a stat, it turns a different color. When when you go into a boss battle, and if you die, the souls are not in the boss room. They're just outside it before you enter. So if you're like, okay, I'm getting my ass kicked, I want to go level up some more, you can go get your souls and then go try to level up. If you
Nice.
die, depending on, so if you die and then you want to go get your souls back, if you come across enemies again,
Yes.
yeah, and they hit you, you will see that your souls are decreasing with each hit. But if you finish killing that enemy, you'll get it back again. So
Nice.
there's a lot more shortcuts to make it more, not easier, but more common for quality of life improvement for the game itself. And there's actual like story instead of just reading lore constantly. I mean, yes, it does have that, but there is a well-put story in place that you can easily follow along, which is nice. Very cool. I'm 30 plus hours into this thing. I'm in the final section of the game. So that can tell you that, yes, it is easier than a lot of Souls and Bloodborne type games out there, considering that I'm going to beat this game, and I've already been spoiled on sort of the alternate endings that you can get, because one of the mechanics is, do you lie? Are you going to tell people the truth, or are you going to lie your ass off in the game? And there's like a painting in Geppetto's little office where you can see how like the nose is protruding out of the painting. I'm not sure how that's going to affect a particular ending between lying and telling the truth. But what's clear as day is the more you try to act human does attribute to some sort of act in the ending.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I expect I'll be met with like some choice with the way the game's going. The plot is pretty rad, where Geppetto and his associates created these lifelike puppets, right?
Uh-huh.
And uh, the puppets became essentially sentient somehow, and then there was an uprising. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
However, as you play, it's sort of realized that during this time there's also a plague going down from whatever evil mastermind there is, and he's like a mad scientist deal, and the energy of the world, like a resource, is called ergo, and he's manipulating this energy source to try to find some sort of eternal life situation, also kind of mimicking the puppets. And so when the puppet uprising happened, there's a lot of things that are just like, oh, the puppets were just killing humans, when maybe it's deeper than that and it's not so cut black and white, right? So
Okay.
it's got a cool, very cool story to it throughout all that. I like where the game's heading with this. The level designs and the atmosphere are really cool. There's a lot of just different ways to play, and the actual difficulty of the game is set with kind of how you want to play with your weapon. I went with a little bit of an easier playing method, where you can kind of tank your character through what's called motivity. That's just your strength, and I just really beefed up a lot of my defensive stats. While if you want to play in kind of a hard mode, you go through a technique stat. So you play closer to Bloodborne, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions
Neat.
over Lies of P?
No.
No. I fucking love this game.
Not really.
Yeah, I fucking love this game. I hope I can beat it this weekend, this long weekend that's ahead.
Oh, yeah. Which reminds me, tomorrow is Canadian Thanksgiving.
Yes, it is. Happy Thankful Day.
Happy Thanksgiving, eh?
Yeah. Maybe Lies of P is my game of the year right now. I still need to play through Final Fantasy 16, more Armored Core 6, but from what let's see, what have I? Yeah, I think right now it's my game of the year, just strictly on the fun factor part of it.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's I haven't been this immersed in, you know what I think it is, Colin?
What's that?
Because obviously I love like Dark Souls and Bloodborne type games, but they're so hard for me. So the fact that I can actually find a way to play and make it easier for me is the enjoyable factor.
Gotcha.
So, all right, I'm going to play a drop and we can get through our games here. Okay. Not sure why I wanted to play the Gradius music, but I did anyways. Colin, why'd you choose this? The theme, anyways.
Halloween's coming up, so we need some scary games on here. And I thought it'd be interesting to showcase some games that can scare you even when you're armed to the teeth. Because I remember back when I talked about the first Descent game a long time ago. That seemed like an interesting concept for a future topic, and thought maybe there were other games like it out there. Can you guys think of any besides what we're covering here?
I mean, for one of them, Doom really comes to mind, but yeah, and then when it comes to the other, it's to me, it's, I guess, System Shock in a way, but not really.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that's
I was thinking Doom could count as another such game, but we've already covered all the Doom games old enough to be considered on here.
Yeah, exactly.
Trying to think of some others. I mean, we already did the first Half-Life.
There's Wolfenstein. You know, we could.
Yeah, that actually, the first Wolfenstein 3D actually scared my brother when he was growing up.
Right.
And then he looked at it like 20 years later. It's like, what was I thinking back then?
Well, you know, you always look back on what scared you as a kid, and you're like, I don't know. Maybe I was just a little bitch. But man, I mean, shit, I've been having this recurring nightmare for the last couple weeks. And I don't know why this popped into my head. Maybe it's spooky month, but maybe this is also the fact I'm a homeowner now. So maybe, Joey, you can relate as well. I'm in this house. I own it. I sleep in it. You know, the whole deal.
Uh-huh.
But it's clearly not my house because I'm like, I don't own this this like 3-story building, if you will, or all these other aspects to a home. And there's a rainstorm, and like the second level bathroom is like totally flooded. Things are coming through the floor. I'm screaming, "Oh no, help, help." Like that's what terrifies me now is home damage.
Hey, you paid a shitload of money for that place. You don't want to see it collapse.
Right? I'm like, "Oh no, I'm ruined." Yeah, that truly is what terrifies me as an adult, is the concept of destruction in my home. That's terrible. No, it was I was talking with Kevin. He was talking about his basement flooding and type stuff, especially when it rains. So yeah, similar scary dreams, Joey, with your home or other things. I know you broke your bathroom, and that was broken for like 9 months or whatever it was.
Yeah, that was day 2 of it when I moved in the house.
Yeah, truly horrified.
So yeah, I don't have to have dreams about it. Things just break.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought of a couple of other games that could fall under this category. There was Stalker: Shadow of Chernobyl. I mean,
we did play that. Yeah.
It's not exactly high octane, but you can be armed to the teeth and it'll still be scary. And there was also the part of the first Halo game when the flood first appeared. I remember that actually getting under my skin a bit. But that's all I can think of for now.
All right, let's get into the first game, shall we?
Alrighty. First game is Half-Life 2 for PC, PS3, and Xbox 360. Developed and published by Valve. Released on the PC on November 16th, 2004, and later re-released on PS3, Xbox, and PC in the Orange Box compilation set on October 10th, 2007. And I've already played this one. I remember getting it on physical CD way back in 2004, 2005 for my birthday, and I was really confused when the installation program forced me to install Steam back when it was in its infancy. It's like, why do I need this other program just to play a game that's already bought and paid for? So that's why it's nice that the Orange Box came out for consoles as well as PC,
right,
so you don't need Steam there.
Yeah.
And I did play it again in recent years on PS3, and I think I like that experience better because when I played it before, the PC specs were pretty spotty at the time on the family computer. So everything went smoother on PS3. So the plot is as follows. Taking place about 20 years after the first game, Gordon Freeman gets awakened by the G-Man and is dropped into City 17.
So ridiculous.
G-Man.
Yep. He's dropped into City 17 on an Earth that's been taken over by the Combine, which is an alien empire that spans across dimensions. And after running into Barney Calhoun from the first game, and with his help and help from Alex Vance, and Gordon spends the rest of the game finding and aiding a resistance force in their efforts to overthrow the Combine. Now, the scare factor here comes from the various missions that have your back against the wall in terms of just how many enemies you encounter, and sometimes how insufficient ammo you have for them. Definitely the most famous is the Ravenholm level, where it's pretty much a zombie horror stage with a shitload of head crab zombies coming after you the whole time. And your best chance of survival is using the gravity gun to pull big saw blades off the walls and fire them at the zombies. Just cut them apart like Dead Space. And another one is the first level with the ant lions, which kind of plays out like the movie Tremors, where you need to avoid walking on the sand. Otherwise, these big insectoid monsters burst out of the ground and attack you. And this game is fantastic. I mean, gameplay is smooth as butter. The graphics are great. I mean, they've aged really well for a game that came out in 2004. And the game has more music this time around than the previous game, but that's not a bad thing. Makes the action set pieces more exciting. And I can't say enough good things about the sound design. I mean, all the gunfire and the explosions, and I really like how when the Combine soldiers die, you can hear a heart monitor flatlining. It's always a nice way of indicating that you've successfully killed them.
Always a good indication.
Yeah. Although you'd think the Combine would have a better survival instinct. I mean, in the beginning of the game, you can kill how many of them with nearby explosive barrels? That's how you kill a lot of them in the first hour or so. Just blow up explosive barrels, send them flying.
Right.
And the game always finds creative ways of forcing you to use your noggin to get through different areas. Like some areas you need to jump on top of a train to get across the tracks. In other areas you're piloting a hovercraft with a machine gun. And other times, like I mentioned before, you gotta walk on objects on the sand instead of the sand itself. It's just a really fun game overall. What did you guys think?
I think it's a great game. I love it.
You think
Awesome.
Half-Life 2 is a great game?
Yeah,
Where
I know,
do you
shocking.
get off with that controversial opinion?
It's shocking, dude. I know. Some people might say it's like half a game because it's half a life, but you know what? I think that 2 there makes it whole. It's a complete game. It's good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but half of 2 is 1.
Yeah, but then half a life is also half a life.
I don't know if this checks out.
I never played episode 2 though, but I did beat episode 1, and I think Lost Coast. So,
I haven't played Lost Coast yet.
I played this game a lot. So,
What's Lost Coast?
they're like expansions or extra levels or what?
Yeah, I think it was like a level that didn't quite make it into the game, but they released it anyway as a side thing. I don't know.
Well, this was the game that so let's see, it came out just under a year before I moved to Germany in high school, and when we got to the village that we lived at for just over a month, there was quite a few people with laptops that had Half-Life 2, and everyone was playing it and taking turns. So that was my kind of first experience with the game, was in Germany. And then I don't know if they did this on purpose, but for some reason the game like changed languages on them. But I think that was just a couple kids fucking with everybody. So they just changed the language on purpose. I'm pretty sure that's what they did. But who knows? Maybe it was a feature built into the game. I doubt it had location abilities in 2005. You know. But hey, when you're dealing with a bunch of teenagers, kids are more gullible back then. But I don't know if I like this more than the first one. I mean, it's clearly well made. It's well thought out. I'm certainly not into the lore of this game at all. I've never really grasped onto it as much. Gesundheit. I heard that. Who was that?
That was me.
Oh, Joey. I'm coughing, you're sneezing. Crazy. But
now all I need is to keep belching and the whole trifecta is complete.
yeah, belch and fart and whatever other nonsense.
Yeah.
Am I crazy with thinking that this is less puzzle heavy than the first one, and it was more first person shootery?
Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Okay.
There's definitely more emphasis on the action.
Yeah, because in a way, I liked it because the first one had some really annoying puzzles and level design, while this one was much more cleaned up in that regard. But I did miss having the puzzle aspect to it.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, they did some physics puzzles. Like early in the game, you have to stack a bunch of cinder blocks on one end of a big lever thing to be able to jump a gap.
Right. So when's Half-Life 3 coming out?
Good fucking question.
Sure, that's never been asked before.
Yeah. The whole running joke of Valve can't count to 3.
So I was reading this, and then I was reading the wiki, and I came across a story about Half-Life 2. It was about this German dude who like stole the game essentially and started giving it to people.
Man.
And you can read the whole news story from German newspapers that covered it at the time. But this dude was sentenced. He was like fucking arrested and on the news and shit. Like the FBI
shit.
even like nailed him to an extent. And like he didn't go to prison, but he got reamed hard by authorities for stealing like the code of the game. It was like the source code. It'd be the source code.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Thought that was a fun story to read. Anyways.
Man, you'd think Valve were Nintendo in that moment.
I don't know. I don't recall Nintendo getting the FBI involved.
Wouldn't surprise me if they did, though.
Yeah.
They're pretty draconian when it comes to piracy.
Yeah. So what is the heavy like difference that people like about this compared to the first one? So I was trying to think of put like Joey, what was your mindset when playing this compared to the first game?
I mean, obviously way better graphics.
Well, yeah.
That thing was longer. So I don't know, I like this one more than the first one. But I played this one first before I played the first one. So
see, that seems to be a lot of consensus. Is a lot of people played this before the first one because this is the one that got it popular.
Because it came in the orange box.
Right.
And that's how I got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played the original before this one, before it came out. I mean, of course, it helped that I had a cousin who actually had it. So, and I had read about it in PC Gamer magazine beforehand, and it looked cool. So,
right. Well, I was fucking around with a bunch of mods. That's what I was having fun with. It was all the different like hacks and mods that you can just throw in the game randomly. Every enemy explodes kind of situation. Every gun has infinite ammo, and you're just going around. It felt felt like I was putting cheat codes in like it was 1993 again.
Yeah, it seems to be where people have been having the most fun with the Half-Life games over the years, with Gary's mod and all that good shit.
Yeah. God, there's 3 like sequels to this with episodes. Didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. Half-Life 2 Episode 1 and Episode 2, and then
they canceled
Half-Life
Episode
Alex.
3.
Well, of course they canceled 3. Half-Life 3's coming out.
Eventually.
Well, it came out. It's Half-Life Alex.
I don't know about that.
Eh, we'll see. But I'm not holding my breath.
I guess the like vehicles you can get
Mhm.
really stood out to
Oh
me.
yeah. That is a big addition from the first game.
I wasn't expecting that, to be honest. I thought it was just going to be something along the lines of like, well, the first one where you're just kind of in a facility the whole time, but they really expanded this one much more clearly.
Yeah,
It's like everything's
gonna
bigger,
say.
better, more action, kind of everything you want in a sequel. So
Yeah,
I
you're
don't have
more
much
out in
else
the
to say
open.
about it. Personally.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything either. It's just more Half-Life, bigger, better, bigger and better in basically every possible category. So, easy pass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
easy pass.
without question. Okay, the second game, Mr. Colin.
Yes. And this will be more niche than than Half-Life.
What? Oh, you're crazy. Where do you get off?
Yeah, just the way I am, I suppose.
Okay, all right.
Alright, so it is Descent 2 on PC and PlayStation.
Damn right.
Mm-hmm. Developed by Parallax Software and published by Interplay. Released on PC DOS in North America on March 13th, 1996, and PlayStation in North America on March 1997, and in the EU in mid-2007, according to Wikipedia. On a side note, did you know that Parallax Software went on to become Volition, the guys behind the Saints Row series?
I did not know
The
that.
more you know. Neither did I until recently.
Thank you, Reading Rainbow. Boy, that's a deep cut. I haven't thought about that in a long time. Oh my god.
Wasn't the more you know an NBC thing, though?
Yes.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I associate that with Reading Rainbow.
Well, it has a star with a rainbow trail, so that
Right,
makes sense.
exactly. Yeah. That and Light Bright, all kind of that same era.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
Well,
Descent 2, fucking rules. I love this game.
Awesome. Yeah. Yeah, this game is basically an expansion of the first game, much like Half-Life 2, with new robots, new weapons, and new levels. And for those
Levels
unfamiliar-
were not annoying mazes. The music is fucking incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I love the music in this. Joey, agree? You agree,
Yeah,
right?
not too bad. But you say weren't mazes. I thought this game felt like you were playing inside the Windows 96 screensaver with the maze.
Well, okay, yes, maybe. You
But I
might
did
be
like
onto
that.
something there in your three-dimensional space.
Yeah, I like that movement was all over. It wasn't just like up and down, left and right, that you could
Right.
go everywhere. Like, I was surprised.
You could do the things. I played the PlayStation
Hell yeah.
version, and I had a ton of fun.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you
Yeah.
played PC or PlayStation.
No, I saw it had a PSX version. I'm like, let's go. I'm doing it. And the music
Yeah.
holds up incredibly well. Look. The guide bot. Colin, the guide bot.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to mention that. It's a little something that's optional for the player. I mean,
No. Not optional. Mandatory. Guidebot rules. Guidebot is what made this game. If there was no Guidebot, I might consider failing. Guidebot is my best friend. He tells me where to go. He tells me that I am handsome and very smart. I really like the compliments. No, that's not just in my head. Guidebot took me to the boss fights. I got to 2 of them. I'm not sure how much into the game that is. I'm sure it's not very long, but it's got. I thought the controls were very smooth. The Guidebot was very helpful into me getting to my destinations, which is very nice. Maybe there's a mod that you can get Guidebot into Doom, because Guidebot also involves helping me find keys. secret areas that isn't bullshittery of just getting lucky to shoot a particular wall. It's actually made well to get to those aspects. Compared to the first one, I thought the health drops were way better and how the enemies wouldn't just fucking fire at you from behind constantly.
Yeah, and the nice thing about the guide bot is that it's trapped behind a destructible door, so players who want the challenge of doing everything on their own, they can just fucking leave it there and do the level by themselves.
Yeah, I don't know what heathen and monster would leave Guidebot behind. He's my buddy.
Yeah, and for those unfamiliar with the first game, the way it's played is you fly around in a fighter-type spaceship and inside various mines throughout the solar system and fight through hordes of killer robots to reach the reactor core of each mine and blow it up, and then escape before the whole mine collapses on you. And the movement is very unique in that you can move in all directions, including up and down, which opens all kinds of possibilities for level design, exploration, and combat. And where the scare factor comes in is that you're in a confined area of tunnels, which creates a feeling of claustrophobia, much like Doom. And quite often, robots will spring from around corners and attack you, or even get warped in certain little grids. And I really like the sound effect that it does when that happens. And in other cases, when you find a colored key, hidden doors will open behind you, and several robots will come out and attack you at once. Plus, the designs of some of the robots can be pretty intimidating. In particular, the bigger ones with the eye light that flashes back and forth. Now, the plot is as follows. After the events of the first game, the main character of that game attempts to dock and collect his reward, but the PTMC, which is the mega corporation that hired him for the events of the first game, decides, you know what, we want you to do more. Now either go do it or you don't get paid. Bunch of dicks. So, the main character gets sent to another star system entirely and has to do the same shit as before. All told through actual cutscenes this time around.
Ah.
Yep. Although, the first game on the PlayStation version had actual FMV cutscenes, but the DOS version just had like a text on a screen with an image. So, that was a bit of a standout for me. And I played the GOG version, and I had a bit of trouble playing it because first it was running too fast. Just the whole bobbing up and down motion of the ship was like really, really quick, like I was a yo-yo. But I was able to look on some of the GOG forums and then remedy it by modifying some of the code in a CONF file in the main game folder. And then the mouse sensitivity was really low. And unfortunately, I couldn't. It just made turning really sluggish. Unfortunately, I couldn't really remedy that. I tried, but failed. But the game was still pretty fun regardless.
Yeah, I came across, whenever there was, I don't know, 10 or more enemies, or however I want to put it. Basically, if the game got overloaded with enemies, I would have frame rate issues on the PlayStation version. It was few and far between, but it did happen. Enough where it was noticeable.
Yeah.
Which is pretty common for like disc games back then. If they tried to overload the disc with so many assets on screen at once, that's how that would happen.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like I'll give you an example. If you come across areas in Spyro, in some of the Spyro games, and there you can see there's like 4 enemies on screen trying to do an animation action at the same time, the game will just like fucking crawl.
Yeah.
That's what would happen here, is you'd get like 4 ships or something trying to shoot at you at once, and then you just go, you just get this crawling feature that you're just like, ah, shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like you were mentioning before, JD, the sound design and music in this game are fantastic. FYI to those who play the GOG version, there's an option in the options menu for the music where you can switch it from the CD music to the MIDI music, which in my opinion is the true experience because that's the original track. I mean, I like the CD music, but the MIDI music is where it's really at for me. Now, one thing I found really annoying in one of the early levels is when you need to get the red key, it's blocked by a laser barrier. And I spent a ton of time trying to find the wall panel to shoot in order to shut the barrier off. Because that's one of the newer mechanics of this game.
But Guidebot.
Yeah. But
you did not consider Guidebot quick enough.
I did, but I didn't realize that the panel to turn off the barrier is behind the barrier as well. And how do you destroy it? Shoot it. It's so counterintuitive, it hurts.
No, you just gotta brute force it. That's what I did throughout this whole experience. Where to, Guidebot? Over there? You got it. Pew pew, shooty shooty. Everything must die.
Pretty much, yeah.
Very much into this game. This hit me at a good time because it's just I'm into these just crazy long adventures right now, and this felt like a straight up just pick up and play and just turn the brain off kind of deal. I was hardly engaged in like figuring things out and tactics. I was just I'm gonna go in guns blazing.
Hell yeah. The Doom approach.
Yeah, pretty much. It felt like Spaceship Doom.
That's how I played it.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah, this game is fantastic. The gameplay is smooth as butter. The enemies are fun and scary, and all the weaponry you can get is really cool. Like,
right.
Your default weapon are these laser guns, but you can also get a Vulcan cannon, which is basically a minigun. And there's the spread fire cannon, which shoots out 3 balls of energy at once, and each shot alternates between horizontal and vertical. Mm-hmm. And then there's the plasma cannon, which is like rapid fire, shooting green balls at the enemies. I didn't get much further than like level 3 or 4, but...
All right. You got kind of as far as I did, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they added some new missiles to the arsenal, too. Like, there's... In the first game, you had concussion missiles and homing missiles, and I think also smart missiles. But in this one, there's also flash missiles, which temporarily blind the enemy robots. And also guided missiles, where you just remote pilot them towards enemies. Oh yeah, did you guys also have trouble with that little thief robot that steals your shit and then runs away?
He is an asshole and you can't catch him.
Yeah, he's really hard to catch, but
maybe he's in cahoots with Guidebot.
Hey. Whoa. Besmirching Guidebot. He would never hurt me. He would never do anything to impede my progress.
Maybe he would guide you to get him, but I think they're in cahoots.
Guidebot's not quick like me. Come on. Man. Joey, I can't believe you.
Yeah, I would chase that guy everywhere, and eventually I would manage to take him out. Homing missiles were my best friend with him. But he takes so many fucking hits.
Yeah, I would give up. I was like, this fucking guy again, and then he'd go off. I'm like, I can't catch this guy.
Yeah.
I got no time for this.
Yeah. And then when you go off to do something else, he'll come back to you.
Yeah, even if you get him, he's still coming.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Pass.
Easy pass.
Pass.
Okay, so the 2 games were Half-Life 2 and Descent 2. My grades. My favorite one is... Personally, I like Descent 2 more, but obviously I recognize that Half-Life 2 is a way better game. I'm giving them both A's. Big high A
Nice.
grade.
Nice.
Half-Life 2 is a better game. I'm giving that one an S, and I'll give Guidebot an A.
Yes. Back on with Guidebot.
Well, maybe he would get an S if he wasn't in cahoots.
Yeah. I liked Half-Life 2 a little more, just by a very narrow margin. But I'm gonna be very generous today and give both of them S's.
Ooh. Okay. So that leaves Half-Life 2 with an S and Descent 2 with an A. Look at that. 2 good games from
Very
Colin.
nice.
Clearly.
To make up for my 2 abysmal games last time.
Well, oh yeah, double F.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So clearly Joey's going to follow this up with 2 awesome games that he totally chose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
All right.
That'll
Spooky
be
Month
fun.
continues. Guys, this was fun. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye now.